Words are not just sounds that pass through your lips. They're instructions. They're blueprints. Every sentence you repeat to yourself is laying the foundation for what you believe, how you act, and ultimately, who you become. When you tell yourself, "I can't handle this," your body responds. Your shoulders slump, your energy drops, and your mind begins to search for evidence that you're right. But when you say, "I will find a way," something shifts. Your breathing steadies, your thoughts sharpen, and suddenly your brain starts looking for solutions instead of excuses. That's the power of self-talk. It's not fluff, it's science. Psychologists have long studied this. The brain doesn't fully distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is real. So when you speak life into your challenges, when you declare, "I'm stronger than this moment, I'm capable of figuring it out," your mind begins to operate as if it's already true. You prime yourself for resilience, creativity, and confidence. Now, we know that the inner voice is not always kind. Most people live with a critic in their head that whispers doubt and magnifies fear. It tells you that you're not good enough, that you'll fail, that you don't deserve more. And left unchecked, that voice becomes the author of your story, and it will write you into a corner. But who's really holding the pen? Every time you choose words of power instead of words of defeat, you take control of the story. You stop being a prisoner of your thoughts and start becoming the architect of your future. This isn't ignoring reality. It's choosing language that fuels action, saying "I'm learning" instead of "I'm failing," saying "I'm in progress" instead of "I'm stuck." These are all small adjustments, but they can change the trajectory of how you see yourself. Think of self-talk like training in the gym. Just as muscles grow with repetition, so does belief. If you only lift the weight once, nothing changes. But if you repeat the movement day after day, the body adapts. Self-talk works the same way. The words you choose and repeat condition your identity. Maybe you've been speaking defeat for years. Maybe you've let words like "I'm too old" or "I'm not capable" take root. That doesn't mean you're stuck. It means you've been rehearsing the wrong script. But scripts can be rewritten. If you can catch yourself in the act, when that negative voice rises, don't fight it with silence. Replace it with truth, out loud if you have to. Declare, "I am disciplined, I am resourceful, I am moving forward." Not because you feel it in the moment, but because you are planting the seed for who you are becoming. Imagine what would shift if instead of fueling fear, you fed your courage daily. Imagine if every morning started with words of intention and every setback was met with words of strength. It's not wishful thinking. That's training your mind to believe in the person you already have the potential to be. Your mind is always listening. Every word you speak, whether aloud or in silence, they're all shaping your future. So speak power, speak resilience, speak determination. Because when you speak it often enough with conviction, your words stop being just words. They become your truth. They become you. When you write your story with the language of possibility, you talk yourself into the life you were always meant to live. We all carry a story inside of us. A story about who we are, what we're capable of, and what our future looks like. Some of those stories are empowering. They tell us we can rise, we can grow, we can succeed. But for many people, the story in their head is filled with doubt, fear, or limitations. Truth is, the story you tell yourself shapes the life you live. If your inner narrative says, "I'm not good enough," then every challenge feels heavier. Every failure feels final. But if your story says, "I'm learning, I'm growing, and I can handle this," then setbacks become lessons, not endings. That's the power of rewriting your inner narrative. It's the mental map that guides you through life. especially when things get tough. Now let's be honest. Most of us didn't write our first stories. They were shaped by family, teachers, friends, and even failures from the past. Maybe someone told you that you'd never succeed. Maybe a mistake made you believe you're not capable. Over time, those words and experiences become the voice in your head. And unless you change it, you'll keep following a map that leads you nowhere new. But resilience is about picking up the pen and writing a different story. It's about saying, yes, life is hard. Yes, I've been knocked down, but my past does not define my future. That's the mental map of resilience, not ignoring your pain, but refusing to let it control your direction. If you want to change the story you're hearing, then here are the steps. First, recognize the old narrative. Pay attention to the phrases you repeat to yourself. Are they filled with I can't, I'll never, or I'm not enough? Awareness is the first step to change. Second, challenge those beliefs. Ask yourself, where did this story come from? Is this really mine, or was it handed to me? More often than not, the doubts you carry aren't truths. They're echoes from someone else's voice. Third, replace the script. When the old narrative shows up, rewrite it in real time. Instead of, I always fail, say, I'm still learning. Instead of, I'm not strong enough, say, I've survived hard things before, I can do this too. And finally, live the new story out loud. Don't just think it, act it. If your new narrative is, I'm capable of growth, then take steps that prove it. Each action reinforces the new map until one day, the old map isn't even visible anymore. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people lose their job. Now, the first person's story is, I'm worthless without work. I'll never find anything better. So they shrink, they give up, and the story becomes true. The second person says, this is hard, but it's not the end. I'll learn from this, and I'll find something that fits me better. That belief drives them to apply, to grow, and eventually to succeed. Same situation, different story, completely different life. Your inner narrative is like a compass. If it points towards despair, you'll walk that way. If it points towards resilience, you'll move forward even through the storms. No matter how long you've carried the wrong story, you can always write a new one. It's never too late. Resilience isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's about acknowledging the struggle and still choosing to keep writing. Your resilience begins with your narrative, and the pen is always in your hands. You never really know what someone is going through. The person next to you at work, the one who's always smiling and cracking jokes, he might be battling depression so deep it takes everything in him just to show up. Or the woman at the grocery store who seems short-tempered or distracted. She might be caring for a sick parent and hasn't slept properly in days. Or that teenager who's acting out or isolating. They could be struggling with identity, anxiety, or relentless bullying. See, behind the surface of every human being is a story you can't see, a wound you don't know, a weight they carry alone. These are the silent battles people are fighting. And the truth is, we all have them. Some are fighting battles of the mind. It could be negative self-talk, constant comparison, imposter syndrome, shame. Others are fighting battles of the heart. Grief from a loss, heartbreak from betrayal, loneliness in a crowded room. Then there are the physical battles. Chronic pain, illness, fatigue, invisible health struggles that the world overlooks. And let's not forget the financial burdens. It's a fear of a job loss, the stress of providing for a family when the numbers just don't add up. So often we walk past people assuming everything is fine because they don't look like they're struggling. But you don't need to wear a cast or cry in public to be in pain. Some of the strongest people you know are silently breaking, and some of the most put together people are holding themselves together with nothing but sheer will. So what's the point of this message? It's a reminder to be kind, to be aware, to lead with compassion instead of judgment. It's a reminder that your words matter, because sometimes one kind of comment can be the reason someone doesn't give up today. It's a reminder that we should never assume we know someone's story just because we've seen their smile. And it's also a call to you. If you're fighting your own silent battles, you are not alone. Even when it feels like no one sees your pain, even when the world keeps moving like nothing's wrong, even when you're wearing a brave face but your soul feels exhausted, know this: you are not weak for struggling, you are not broken for hurting, you are human, and your healing takes time, grace, and support. And maybe you're not in a place to share your battle right now. That's okay. But please, don't fight it alone. Reach out, talk to someone, get help if you need it. There is strength in vulnerability. You don't have to carry the full weight of your world by yourself. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed not to be okay. You're allowed to be a work in progress. And if you are someone who's climbed out of a hard season, let this be the reminder to look back, to help someone who's still in the dark. Sometimes your survival story is someone else's instruction manual. We can't always fix what others are going through, but we can create a world where people feel seen, where compassion leads, where patience outweighs pressure, where understanding replaces judgment. So next time someone cuts you off in traffic, the next time your coworker seems off, or the next time your friend cancels plans without explanation, pause. Remember this speech. Remember, everyone is fighting something silently. So be a little bit more patient, a little more gracious, and a little more real. Because when we acknowledge the unseen battles around us, we become a better version of ourselves. And maybe, just maybe, we help someone fight a little longer. Life is always moving, always buzzing, always demanding. And our minds are constantly pulled in 1,000 different directions, from texts, emails, worries, and schedules. And in the middle of all that noise, we forget something important: ourselves. We forget to breathe, we forget to listen, and we forget to heal. But that's where meditation comes in. Meditation isn't about sitting cross-legged for hours or becoming some spiritual master. It's about coming home to yourself. It's about creating just a few moments of silence in a world full of noise. And in that silence, something powerful happens. You see, meditation gives you space to heal. Be they emotional wounds, mental stress, physical tension. Meditation helps untangle it all. It slows the racing thoughts. It relaxes the tightness in your chest. And it gives your nervous system a break. It reminds your mind and body that you're safe, you're okay, you're still here. I suggest you don't wait until you're burned out to start. You don't need to wait for rock bottom to take a breath. You can begin now. You should begin today. So what is meditation really? At its core, meditation is simply this: the practice of being present. Not caught in the future, not stuck in the past, just here, in this breath, in this moment. And that one practice, being fully present, can change everything. It can help lower anxiety. It can help reduce depression. It can improve sleep. It can boost creativity. It can help the body heal from the inside out. But most importantly, it reconnects you with you. So how do you do it? Well, let's break it down into 5 simple steps. Number 1, find a quiet space. Doesn't have to be fancy. You can sit on your bed, sit on the floor, or just sit in your car before work. Just somewhere you won't be disturbed for a few moments. Number 2, sit comfortably. You don't need to twist into a pretzel. Just keep your back straight, your shoulders relaxed, and your hands resting gently. Number 3, close your eyes and breathe. Inhale slowly through your nose, exhale gently through your mouth. Do that a few times and notice how your body begins to settle. Number 4, focus on your breathing. Notice the air coming in and going out. If your mind wanders, and it will, just bring it back to the breath. No judgment, no pressure. And number 5, just start small. Try 3 minutes, then 5, then maybe 10. It's not about how long you meditate, it's about how you consistently show up for you. See, over time, you'll notice the difference. You'll feel calmer in chaos. You'll respond, not react. You'll carry a sense of peace with you, even in busy or stressful moments. And maybe most importantly, you'll start to hear your own voice again. The voice underneath the noise, the one that says, I'm healing, I'm growing, I'm okay. Because meditation isn't about escaping life, it's about learning how to live it fully, with awareness, with presence, and with peace. You don't need to be perfect, you don't need to get it right every time, you just need to begin. You see, meditation is a return to your breath, to your body, to the moment. And in that return, you begin to remember how powerful you truly are. Mindset. Everyone talks about it. Few people understand it. Some people think it means being happy all the time. Some think it means pretending everything is fine when it's not. Others think mindset is only about motivation, that if you just think positive, your whole world will magically change. But that's not it. Mindset is not about ignoring reality. It's not about fake smiles or motivational quotes taped to the mirror. It's not pretending bad things don't happen. Mindset is the way you respond when they do. It's the voice in your head that says, okay, this is hard, but I can handle it. It's being present, not frozen by what might happen tomorrow and not buried under the weight of what already happened yesterday. Mindset is your ability to stay in the now. And that's where your power is. That's where the choices are. That's where progress lives. Let me ask you about something. Have you ever gotten stuck in your head replaying a mistake from the past? You wish you had said something different or did something different. But no matter how many times you relive it, you can't go back and change it. Or maybe you felt your chest tighten thinking about the future, the unknowns, the risks, the fears. You're anxious about something that hasn't even happened yet. We all do it. But mindset is learning how to catch yourself in those moments. It's learning how to pause and remind yourself, I'm not back there, I'm not out there, I'm here. Mindset is presence, and presence gives you power. When you're present, you're no longer a victim to your past. When you're present, the future doesn't control your next step. When you stop reacting and you start responding with purpose, with awareness, with strength, that's mindset. Here's a real example. Let's say a basketball player misses 2 free throws in the final seconds of the game. The team loses, the crowd is brutal, reporters want answers, teammates are frustrated. That player has 2 options. 1, they can obsess over the missed shots, beat themselves up and let it destroy their confidence. Or 2, they can learn from it, grow from it, and refocus on the next game. See, the past is done. The shots were missed. The only thing that matters now is what happens next. That's mindset again. Mindset is about being able to say, I didn't get the job, but that doesn't mean I stop applying. They didn't believe in me, but that doesn't mean I stop believing in myself. I failed, but that doesn't mean I'm a failure. It's not about perfect thinking. It's not about persistent thinking. It's the ability to keep going, to stay grounded, to stay hopeful, not because the road is easy, but because you know you're strong enough to handle it. You see, mindset isn't a switch you flip once. It's a muscle you build. Every time you catch yourself spiraling and choose to return to the moment, that's mindset. Every time you get knocked down and stand back up, that's mindset. Every time you do the hard thing when it would have been easier to quit, that's mindset. And you don't have to be perfect to build it, you just have to be present. So next time your thoughts race to what you could have done or spiral into what might go wrong, pause, take a breath, look around, remind yourself this is the moment you're in, and this is the moment you can control. That's mindset. Not perfection, not pretending, not pressure, just presence. And presence is where everything begins. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you're choosing your pain. It sounds strange, doesn't it, to think that pain is unavoidable. But that's the deal. You either carry the pain of discipline or you suffer the pain of regret. And the truth is, one of them weighs ounces while the other will crush you. Let me show you what I mean. Picture someone waking up before dawn, lacing up the running shoes and hitting the pavement while the rest of the world sleeps. The alarm clock blares at 5 a.m. and believe me, it's tempting to stay under the covers. But they get up day after day. Why? Because they know discipline is tough, sure, but it's temporary. Sore legs, early mornings, skip parties, all those are small prices to pay for health, confidence, and longevity. Now picture the opposite. Someone who kept saying, I'll start tomorrow, until years slip by and the doctors deliver the bad news. The stairs become a challenge. Energy disappears. That's the pain of regret. And unlike discipline, regret doesn't go away after a good night's sleep. It lingers. It rewinds the clock in your mind and forces you to replay all the moments you should have chosen better. One is pain now, the other is pain forever. And this goes far beyond fitness. Think about relationships. The pain of discipline looks like showing up, having the hard conversations, being vulnerable, making the effort to call, to listen, to care even when you're tired. Yes, that takes work. It takes discomfort. But the alternative? Well, it's waking up one day realizing you've let the best people in your life slip away because you were too busy, too distracted, too unwilling to invest the time. Regret stings and it sticks. Or what about your dreams? How many people sit in traffic on the way to a job they can't stand thinking, I should have tried, but they didn't. They let fear win. The discipline to chase a dream meant late nights, early mornings, rejection, and failure. It sounded like too much, so they stayed comfortable. And now, they feel trapped in a life that doesn't fit. That's regret. But here's the good news. Discipline pays you back. It might demand something up front, a sacrifice of time, comfort, ego. But what you get in return is freedom, pride, results that last. It's like planting seeds. You don't see much at first. It feels slow, but you keep watering, and one day you're standing in the middle of a life you actually want, built by your own hands. Discipline is sharp, but short. Regret is dull, but endless. So which pain are you choosing today? Because make no mistake, choosing neither isn't an option. If you refuse the small daily discomfort of discipline, you're signing up for the heavier, lasting weight of regret. It's the law of effort. There's no shortcut, no cheat code. You get what you work for and you pay the price one way or the other. So decide. Wake up a little earlier. Push yourself a little harder. Make the call. Take the leap. Apologize. Start the book. Sign up for the class. Say no to the easy way out. Choose discipline now. And years from today, you'll look back, not with regret, but with pride. Pride that you did the hard things. Pride that you stuck with it. And pride that you didn't let discomfort steal your future. Because that's the real win. Not just living, but living without regret.